Hello! Guys, I've read The House in the Cerulean Sea and In the Life of Puppets, and it was so good. I've enjoyed this so much. Those are 5-star reads. It's the 15th of January 2024, and I have two 5-star reads now, which is amazing. I'm blown away. And if you have not read TJ Klune's book yet, then what are you doing? Go read the books. And read the book. And if you're like thinking, yeah, I'll just listen to the plot and then I might pick it up. No.
Wrong.
Listen to it the least amount of plot possible, because it will just ruin the story for you. And like, especially, I hate blurbs. If I had read the blurb for that, I would have been so much less interested in the book. But it's a really, really good book. Also, The Lives of Puppets, which is a very different story than this one. But keep an open mind. I'm gonna tell you reasons why you should read this book. If you have this dry, deadpan humor, that book is for you. If you enjoy amazing character developments, that book is for you. If you enjoy good messages in a story, that book is for you. This book deals, but that's it too. Like, both books actually are very family driven, which is really, really nice. Actually, I don't read a lot of books like that. I usually read like some sort of fantasy story. So having this kind of story now is just really, really cute. So yeah, guys, just read the book. And for now, I have this vlog version of me reading and enjoying this book. One thing I just want to say before starting this book, because I haven't said it yet in the end of the book, is the reason why this book struck with me so much is because I'm a foster child myself, and that just struck with me so much. A lot of the topics. I mean, yes, of course, this author here takes an extreme example with Lucy. Just because you don't have this extreme example like Lucy is, you would still have it though. You would still face troubles and discrimination or stupid questions for being a foster child, or like, I don't know, it's like when my parents are angry and I do something they don't approve of, because I have really Christian parents, then they would be, oh, you're just like your birth mother. And I get it. I get why they say that. But having these moments in this cerulean sea where they're like, yes, that's your parents, but that's not you. And we get a lot of those moments where Lucy does things purely out of shock value to just intimidate and scare Linus, our main guy. Yet still we get those moments that are so unconditional. Actually, I've read a book review where someone was like, yeah, this book is so unconditional in their love and da-da-da, and it meant it in a bad way. But that was actually what really got to me. Like, this unconditional love for the kids, which was amazing to me. That's perfect 10 out of 10 behavior. Which, of course, like, that's a really high standard. We are human, humans make mistakes. And which is actually a big topic in the next book. But like, we're humans make mistakes. And so, of course, also my parents make mistakes, and that's normal and fine. And I'm just trying to tell you that that's actually something that really struck with me. So if you are like in situations like that, or you know how this feels like when you get like judged for where you came from, then I think you will really, really like this book. Hi! So I'm 24% into the story, and I'm telling you that I love the writing style. It's so hilarious. Linus, our main guy, is such an overthinker, which is funny. It's really in a really funny and light way. We get to see his anxiety bubbling up whenever something happens, and he's like, is it maybe because of this? Did I do something wrong? Should this be happening now? It's just entertaining and funny. And then we have those cute little facts, like those cute little quirks he has. Like, he keeps forgetting his umbrella. And it's so funny because he would go out and be like, oh no, it's raining. And now I forgot my umbrella. And then 2 pages later, it's like, oh no, I forgot my umbrella. And it was just so cute. Linus is a little cuddlier guy, which I can identify with so much because I'm cuddly too. And then he keeps bumping into the desks at his workplace, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, oh, sorry. And I get that though, because I bump into stuff too all the That was so cute when he's like, oh sorry, and then in his mind he's like, oh, I should just eat a salad tonight. I'm like, oh, poor Linus. Oh, by the way, Linus is such a trigger name for me again, and I see in my head this Peanuts Linus. I don't know if anyone can relate with that, but like Linus, and the first thing I had in my head was Peanuts. Alright, anyway, to the plot. Linus works for Dichotomy, and he's like in the children's department for magical children. This is a magic fantasy world where he inspects orphanages and makes sure they're up to standard, so that the children are safe and protected and well taken care of. And this is something he does really well. Like, his reports are very thorough. He gets a new assignment. And he did not know that. So there were so many instances where he was like stressing out about what could they possibly want from him and what's going on and what's gonna happen. But he gets a new assignment and he's supposed to go to this orphanage and check up on it for like a month. And he's like, what if I don't want to do it? And they're like, think of it as a mandatory promotion, which was hilarious. So we are now on our way to this orphanage. Linus got a lot of stuff he's supposed to look through, but he's allowed to look through that when he gets to the train destination where he was supposed to go. So he's sitting at the train station, opening up the letter, which is another thing Linus does, is whenever he reads something, he goes, oh dear. It's so fun. He gets the invitation to meet extremely upper management, and he's like, oh dear. Or he gets to his superior's office, he gets a letter for it, and he's like, oh dear. And then now he reads the letter about that he has to report from this orphanage. There are 6 children, 1 caretaker, one master of this, who is apparently the love interest. Because he got there and he was like, ooh, this guy's so pretty. But he read the letter now and it's like, okay, but you have to pay special attention to Lucy. You have to pay special attention to this one boy. And he's like, boy? Lucy? How is Lucy a boy? And then he read the file for Lucy, which is a 6-year-old boy called Lucifer, son of Satan. And he was like, he did not even say, oh dear, he was like fainting. But then he got picked up by the caretaker, who's not the master, but the caretaker, who's a sprite. And she's like, okay, I get it, you're shocked, but those are children. And your job is to make sure the children are well taken care of. So get a grip. And then we get there and it's so cute because we get the first look of the children. And there are 6 children. I'm going to read them out because I don't want to mess them up. We have Talia, who's a 200-something-year-old female garden gnome. Then we have Fee, a young forest sprite. Then we have Sal, who's an extremely shy teenage boy who, when he's shocked, turns into a Pomeranian. And we have Chauncey. He's like this green blob. And then we have Lucy, a charming and intelligent 6-year-old whose nickname is short for Lucifer. Thank you. And it's really funny because the kids are like a real overload for Linus. Because they hit him with all their childish shenanigans in one night. He just arrived and he was not aware. He only read Lucy's file and not any of the other ones. So he was not aware what creatures the others are. And he walks into the garden and he's like, what a funny gnome. And Talia, the gnome, she's like, you can't say that to a person. And he's like, ah! And Talia's like, you're loud. And then the problem is, like, Linus opened the door to this orphanage, and then his cat, Calliope, she bolted. She was like, I'm out of here, and ran into this property, and he can't find her now. And now the kids help him find the cat before Lucy finds the cat, because who knows what happens when Lucy finds the cat. And then he gets like all those quirks from those children. Like, this one guy, Chauncey, really wants to be a bellboy. And then he's like, sir, I brought all your stuff to your room. I'm such a good bellboy. It was like really cute. And then we have Fee, the young forest bride, where we get a glimpse of her, and she's like, oh, your cat is not in the forest. And apparently she does not like him. And Talia, who's like leading him through all of this, she's like, Fee doesn't like you, but don't take it personally. She doesn't like anyone. She would much rather have you not being here or alive. And there's like, this is something this book does really well. It has this really dry humor, which is really, really entertaining. And then we get to know Arthur Parnassus, Arthur Parnassus, who's the master. And Linus is already like, ooh, this guy is handsome. And then Arthur is like, oh, you can call me Arthur. And Linus is like, Mr. Parnassus will suffice. And it's like, borders, let's have borders. He's not supposed to form attachments there. He's supposed to have like really clinical kind of reports and not form connections. So yeah, that's where we are right now. And oh my god, how we got Lucy. Lucy came. That was hilarious. Lucy's like, I am evil incarnate. A dastardly voice said, I am the blight upon the skin of this world, and I will bring it to its knees. Prepare for the end of days. Your time has come, and then Mr. Parnassus is like, Lucy, it's time for your bath. And he's like, oh darn. Which is funny, because in my head, Lucy is like this Calvin and Hobbes guy, just with black hair. That's how he sees him, because he's always like this, like, that's how I imagine him. Like, the first glimpse of what we've seen so far, I love it. I really do. And it's really entertaining and really, really well written. Okay, so I need to do this video now, because if I don't do this now, I know I'm not doing it. And then I'm going to work, and then I just keep reading, and then I will be almost done, and then there's no need to make a half-point video. So I'm now at like 50%, somewhere like that. And so far, in the last 25%, we've had a lot of interactions. We start seeing Linus thinking more and more about what he's doing, what impact his work has to the children, which is funny because he gets asked that from the very beginning. He gets confronted with like, are you aware with what impact you're having with the things you're writing? And Linus is like, that's above my pay grade. Like,
I do not get paid enough for this.
Like, that's none of my business. And here again, Arthur is like, are you aware what you're doing with what impact you have on the children? And now he finally starts seeing things that way, which is interesting. We get a really nice character progression from Linus here, which I'm really here for. And Arthur and Linus are starting to grow closer. Now they're on first name basis. We had some really fun moments with Lucy, which I still think it's funny, but he only says like awful things for shock value, which again it's like Calvin and Hobbes. I don't know how many of you know that kid, but he's just a little mischievous imp. And that's exactly what Lucy is. But he's not a bad kid in general. He's just mischievous. And yeah, then we have that cute little forest moment where they're all exploring. And the caretaker, the sprite, she gave Linus an adventurer outfit in like shorts and all of it in brown. And And Linus was standing there like, I look like an egg with limbs. Because he's round and he's like, I look like an egg with limbs. And then all the kids came and they were like, hey Linus, let's go on an adventure. Let's do this. And Linus is like, do I really have to? But the kids all actually start bonding with Linus too. They were all scared and they're like, oh, maybe those are like cannibals and they want to eat us. And they were all scared. And Lucy on this expedition was the leader. And he looked at Arthur and he's like, yeah, maybe we should investigate what that is. And Arthur was like, yes, being brave is a virtue. And then Lucy stood there like, all right, if it's the strong and the smart, then I as the leader will make the very brave decision to let Arthur investigate. And Arthur was standing there like, what? And Linus came like, yes, bravery is a virtue. So like he smacked his words back to him, which I thought was hilarious. Arthur went inside and then the kids got all scared because Arthur did not come back. And they were like, oh no, maybe Arthur got eaten. And they were all huddling around Linus, which was really cute because they finally start to form a connection with him, and I was so here for this. And yeah, I am just getting dressed and do my makeup, and then I'm ready for work, and then at work I will just finish the book, I guess, and tell you then how it went. See you. Hi, so a quick update. I'm at work right now. I just got in and I'm at 70% right now of the book. It's really cute. Linus gets more and more attached to the children, which is something he actually does not do because he's actually usually really objective, but also his reports to the extreme upper management get more and more subjective. We have Lucy having a nightmare, which was interesting how Arthur handled all of this. And then we have, all right, it turns out that one of the extremely upper management guys, he was dating Arthur before. So, and he keeps being like, yeah, we want more updates of Arthur. So it's like him as an ex-boyfriend stalking Arthur right now through Linus. But then we had the nightmare session. And after that, we had this cute part where they all went to the city. A lot of stuff happened. Of some people, they were like accepted. Of others, they weren't. And like Arthur almost lost it. He got really upset and angry. And Linus was like, hey, think of what you're doing right now. However you are acting right now will have an impression on the kids. And he starts feeling more and more attached to him. And yeah, then we get hints from a report of the extremely upper management that Arthur is actually a creature too. And we actually don't know that yet, but I suspect that Arthur is a phoenix because we get this hint before that he knows a phoenix, but it was like really brushed upon. And then there's a cellar that is burnt down. The hints for it are there. So I'm fairly positive that Arthur is Phoenix. And now I'm at this point where Linus finds out, but like the readers only like know that Arthur is a creature. And now Linus acts really cold and different towards Arthur. So yeah, that's where we are right now. I think this is the 3rd week they're in right now. Next time is the 4th week, which is when he will be leaving. And the next time I'm making this video, it will be done. So this was so good. This was so good. This is the first 5-star read for me in this year. But that's only because that we have not finished Dark Air yet, me and my roommate. This was so cute now. Linus in the end did leave, and he was leaving the orphanage and the kids. And Arthur even begged him to stay. He was like, please, Linus, stay with me and the kids. And Linus was like, no, I have to go. I have responsibilities. And then he went back and made sure that the orphanage does not get closed. And he made a huge thing. Like, he went to the extremely upper management and has written in his last report only like, yeah, don't close the orphanage. That's the best place for them, and that's all he has written. And every other time he was like writing 17 pages for them in the report, and now this time he was supposed to write a lot, and he was like, don't close it. And now extremely upper management called him in, and it's beautiful to see that character arc, because the first time he got called, he was so scared. He was crapping his pants. He was so scared. And now he actually knows why he has to go there, but he's not worried or scared or anything. He just goes in there and tells them what's going on. And then he's like, he's shouting at them that how things are done, that's not all right, and that they should change stuff. And he's really, really, really passionate and emotional in delivering his speech. And then I had to laugh because the extremely upper management person was like, there it is, the disappointment, how sharp and profound. And I was like, oh, my dad is sitting there. No, it's a joke. I love my parents. But like, extremely upper management was not happy with Linus's speech, and they just sent him away. And he starts to act out. Like, he has a picture frame of the kids. They're not supposed to have personal stuff on their desk, but he places that on his desk. And now his superior comes and she's like, why do you have that? You're not supposed to have that unless it's approved by a supervisor. And he's like, then approve it. And Linus is just sitting there like, you were so pathetic. But then, of course, he gets the message from the secretary of the extremely upper management that his suggestion not to close the orphanage got approved. And he goes back. And also there, he has, of course, to make a speech because everyone was really upset that he left. And he left like in the dead of night or like really early in the morning. And the kids did not get a chance to say goodbye. And there was this one thing where in the beginning of the book, we would have the Pomeranian kid. His name is Sal. He had this one speech, his one paper that he wrote. And that's what he said. I am but paper, brittle and thin. I am held up to the sun, and it shines right through me. I get written on, and I can never be used again. These scratches are history. They're a story. They tell things for others to read, but they only see the words, and not what the words are written upon. I am but paper, and though there are many like me, none are exactly the same. I am parched parchment. I have lines. I have holes. Get me wet and I melt. Light me on fire and I burn. Take me in hardened hands and I crumble. I tear. I am but paper, brittle and thin. And it was just so cute. When I read that, I started to cry. But it was so adorable. And before that, he stepped into the property and he saw Talia again. And the garden gnome, and she was like burying a hole. And he's like, hi. Hello, and like starting a conversation, and she's not answering. And then he compliments her, and she's like, of course, I have an amazing garden, I'm a gnome. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And then she turns around, she's just crying, and she's like, why are you here? Because this is where I belong, and I never should have left to begin with. I only did so in order to make sure you would be safe, all of you. And now, and she was just crying and hugs him. And then she's like, and it's like, she buried her face in his neck, beard tickling her throat. I'm going to bury you right here, she sobbed. I'm digging your grave, just so you know. And he's like, I know. I would expect nothing less. And his whole stay there, the whole time with the kids, it's all like death threats. And she's like, no one would ever be able to find you. And even if they did, it would be too late. And you'd only be bones. So yeah. But then they get all together. And now he's also together with Arthur. They had their first kiss now. And yeah. Guys, it was just really a cute book. It was cute. And actually, it was not just cute. It was just perfect on all accounts. It was well thought out. There's a clear storyline. And that's something I like. It's not shallow. We have a clear character progression. We have him coming out of his comfort zone in so many ways. We see this really closed off person, and he grows into a caring and loving and like fun person, and he's like thriving. He's thriving at the end of the book, and that's like a really clear progression. You can see it with, like, you don't even have to think about it. You see it from the beginning to the end. He's like, he changed so much, and he had so much personal growth, and I love this. The humor was so fun. It actually made me laugh out loud, which I usually don't do very often. When there's like jokes, I'm like, was that supposed to be funny now? But this, every other page I was laughing because it was just cute and fun. I love the kids, and I usually don't. But this book here right now is very character driven, very witty, and actually very thought-provoking in a lot of things they say. There were moments where I was just sitting there like, oh, this was so cute. And it was just, it's not even a standalone book. I was about to say it's a standalone book, but I actually found out today that the second book of it is coming this year. I'm not sure, I think it was September. So yeah, exciting. I will also start the next book like right now. Of course not, the phone is ringing. Anyway guys, bye.